Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Raw Cloud. Today, I have several topics I wanted to just go over real briefly. I did make a video before this one a couple of days ago explaining the two timelines. One is going to be positive, one is going to be negative. Um, I got into the more negative one with dealing with 3i Atlas. 3i Atlas is it's going to give us what we need as far as uplifting the consciousness. A lot of people have seen positive things with 3i Atlas, and this would be true. That is the more positive timeline where 3i Atlas will activate the third eye, and this is basically what it is in the essential word that it is called 3i Atlas. It's uh it's activating the third eye. It's bringing everybody up to their level of consciousness and then helping them on their path of becoming a little bit more in tune, not only with yourself, but with others, kind of bringing us all together, doing away with the negativity, doing away with holding humanity back as far as let's just say these Illuminatis, the elites, the globalists, the cabal, and the Luciferians, whatever they are known as, they will be going away. And everything that they have tried to do to keep you guys from achieving your greatness, that's going to be stopped. And right now, these guys are panicking their ass off. I don't know if you guys, wherever you guys live, but where I'm at in North Carolina, there's not a lot of chemtrails. And that's going to be like the first sign of things are going right. They can no longer block out the sun, and that's one of the things that 3i Atlas is doing, is undoing a lot of the work that these elites have been doing, these reptilians have been doing for the longest time. I also talk to you guys about positive reptilians as well, that there are some positive reptilians that have been a part of these galactic federation councils and have been working in sequence with helping not just the human race, but other races out there that the Dark Empire, like the Dark Orions, and many other groups out there, like the Dracos, have been putting a stop to them coming and infiltrating other star systems, other planets, and then trying to take it over from the inside. So 3i Atlas is both one with negativity and positivity, dependent on your conscious level. Think of it as kind of mirroring where you guys are at. It's like a mirror where you get to see your conscious level around you, because we manifest our reality. That's what we're doing. So if you're more positive, more loving, more caring, then it's going to mirror that back at you. If you want for fear, uh, not standing in your own power, looking for a savior, having that savior complex, then it's going to mirror that back at you. Okay, now when you go into like a savior complex, that means that you're looking for someone to come in and do the work for you. Okay, and a lot of times negative beings will come in and um, kind of trick you into taking more of your power, doing everything for you, but you don't move anywhere. You don't take accountability for your growth, your own evolution. Meaning that you stay right there where you at, while these beings build a structure around you where you just are trapped until you step up and be the being that you are So every human being here is very powerful. And we came here to see what it was like to be human and then uplift this human species. Doesn't matter what color you are, we all chose these particular avatars to elevate the human, this particular human consciousness, and bring it up to our positive galactic brothers who we used to be in other lives, and we still are. A lot of us still are, but we're participating in this particular avatar, this particular human, to elevate it to become like how we used to be in these other ET races. And that's all it is. We're trying to uplift this other hybrid race, which we are called humans or Terrans. Okay, so for the new people, um, I'll explain my role here on Earth. Okay, so I'm from the seventh density, which I was a guardian of the seven gates. Being a guardian of the seven gates meaning that we guard these portal systems, and if you are not ready to come through those portal systems in your ascension, you cannot. We guard them and make sure that no one is permitted past sixth density. So if you're a sixth density being trying to get into seven density without those light codes being activated, we will not let you pass because you are not ready. Pertaining to your light codes in your evolutional state, meaning that if you have gone through the natural evolution process of your ascension path and you achieve seven density codes, then you are permitted to go into seven density. For those that are using technology and trying to bypass or stealing light codes from another individual, they will not get past seven density because they did not earn those light codes. There are archons that have tried to do the same thing by harvesting your plasma, your blood. And that's why a lot of these beings they are so into your genetics because they want the light codes that come with that. Those light codes get you into other dimensions, other planes of reality, which they do not have access to because they have been cast down into a system where it's almost like a prison system for them. It's not a prison system for us because we carry these codes. We can go all the way up to 12 and then beyond. But for them, because they have inverted a lot of things, they no longer have these codes. And they interbreed with each other. So they don't have the codes that you guys carry because they have not gone through that natural process of evolution. You achieve these codes by the good deeds that you do here on Earth and in other planet systems out there. Um, you get these codes activated through the sun. And I told you before that the sunlight, they don't like the sunlight. They have gone against the natural organic timelines that Source God has given us to evolve as a soul, to incarnate into many different beings and learn the roles and achieve more light codes to get us past 12D and beyond. And that's all it is because the soul is eternal. We want to learn, we want to evolve. And Source God is living every duality through us because Source also wants to learn. We are all Source God beings. That's why we have men and women we can create through um, coming together, loving each other, and breeding a human being or a offspring of that nature, whether it's human or not. Um, just like other races, they have many have male and female. They go through the natural process, and some do have other processes of what we consider natural and unnatural. But it's all based off in consciousness and where we at with learning what that is. Okay, so let's just say you have to keep an open mind. You have to keep an open heart, and don't judge so harshly. But there are other negative beings out there, and they want to hold us back because they see us as a food source. They want to keep us in a low density because they are not permitted to go past a certain point. So they see our genetics as a way out, and they want to use that. They want to be beside us as we achieve these ascension, which is to a lot of the beings they incarnate so that they can undo a lot of the karma that they do have. A lot of them do carry karma, like the Anunnaki and the Dracos, so they will incarnate as human beings, but they still, because of who they are, they carry a lot of narcissistic ways. But it does not mean that they do not want to evolve. And one of the ways that they evolve is to incarnate in a human vessel and then go through a natural process to achieve those light codes and become more. And as they move up in density, they move up in the more heart centered ways of being a more loving, compassionate being. It's a natural process. It's a long process for them, but most of them are willing to try to change many ways. So, but the archons are a little bit different. Archons are a little bit different. They essentially don't have souls. They are more or less machines that have evolved to become more like they too want to become God, but they cannot um, achieve what God source has already achieved. And the more negative beings, they too have a negative ascension path where they become demonic beings, they become demons, where their soul is just so dark that their light, they still have light, but it's extremely dim. They don't look at the light inside of them. They look away from that light and they keep a more darker aspect about themselves. So one of my roles is to go into the darkness and see how they are planning um, and conspiring against many different races, not just the human race. I work with other galactic councils, and I do have an angelic form, which you all have. You guys work through these same forms that I do, whether you remember it or not. You do have an angelic form. You have an angel form, and your angel form is like one of the highest forms that you guys have. Um, a lot of this stuff is not like in the Bible, but a lot of the Bible is true. But there is more to you than they put into the Bible. Every one of us here, all star seeds, all Christ conscious beings have a higher angelic form, and that is your angel form. And then it rolls down, it comes down into, but it's still Christ conscience. It's still Christ conscience, but we elevate down, we ascend down to help the people that have been stuck by the archons, the demons, and these dark empires. Um, so we have to become dense to come down and help the ones that have forgotten who they are. And that's what Christ had to do. He came from a higher plane. He had to incarnate down to get here and remind people of who they are. and how powerful they are, and stop giving your power away to these entities, these false idols like government structure. We are way more than that. So I had to incarnate down and go through that natural process of awakening, just like many of you. It takes a while, but it's the fair way to do it. If we are going to evolve the human species, we can't cheat. Okay, we cannot cheat our way. Okay, because we're gonna come down here, evolve, remember who we are, and then help wake other people up as well. Okay, that is the right path to take, because we're having to still know what it's like to be human. A lot of people here are new souls as well. They have never known what it's like to be human. So when they get here, they really don't like the dense frequencies. But human beings are very unique in nature, because we can vibrate high, we can vibrate low, and we can go in between. So we have a wide range of emotions that other species, ET species, just don't have. And so they incarnate too, to learn all of these emotions, to learn love, hate, envy, and all of these other things in between these emotions, because they just don't have it. So human human beings is extremely unique out there, and this is why it's a Earth is a school. It's a school that these other beings want to control as well. They see Earth as a gym, because we are royalty, in nature. And then, like I said, it doesn't matter what color you are. If you are a human being, then you have those royal codes that these other ET races they want. They want those codes. They want those codes because you can go up and down in between dimensions. They don't have access to that. They really, really want that. That's why you see them wanting to hybridize with us. Because they don't have access to other dimensions. But there's going to be another video with this one explaining the two timelines, dealing with 3i Atlas. Um, and I will give you guys like some illustration um, that explains, the origins of 3i Atlas and the beings that are on board 3i Atlas. Um, And like I said, it's going to mirror where you at in your conscious level. That's what it's going to mirror to you. So if you want to stay on the positive timeline, uh, then take responsibility for your growth. Don't depend on others to have. You have to become like the Christ, okay? You have to become the Christ, because we all carry those Christ codes. Get off of your needs and love the being that you are, and understand that you are enough. You are enough. Okay? And once you step into who you are, just like Christ told you that one day you will be able to do everything that he can do and more. Well, that's today. Once you step into that and have faith in who you are and stop giving your power away, that's when 3i Atlas will mirror who you are. But if you stay in that victim mentality, if you stay in fear, then you go into that timeline where you will be given what you need to elevate, whether that be something positive that you will have to face, or something negative that you will have to face. Okay? It's here to elevate your consciousness. And the elites are scared shitless. They don't want to deal with it. That's why they've been trying to weaponize space and to try to combat what's coming their way, because they look down the timelines, and every time they look down the timelines, they didn't like what was coming their way. They didn't like it. And like I said, I don't know where you guys are at, but I don't see a lot of chemtrails where I'm at. That's a good sign. And I talked about this. When you see no more chemtrails in the sky, that's when you're on the right path. That's when humanity, a liberation, is coming. You're on the right timeline. You're on the right path. So there's more to this government shutdown. Like I said in the last video, I gave a lot of disclosure in that last video, and you guys are doing great. Continue on your path. Also, I want to talk about this. This wasn't a mission for the Navy Alliance, the White Hats. This wasn't a mission for the Galactic Federation, but this was more or less a higher mission, a higher calling for the angelics. So I went into the astral realm. And my job was to hunt down this particular demon. This was a demon I was tasked to take care of. And I told you guys my childhood home. That is like, that particular area is the area that I guard, because there are portal systems there. I've seen Pleiadians there, I've seen mantis beings there, and I've seen grays there, and many other beings of both light and dark. In that area over there, in those apartment complex near the waterfront, well, that system is shut down. Those apartments are vacant, and the reason why is because the government knows that when there was a hurricane that came through, and that hurricane decimated the East Coast. But what that particular hurricane did, this was a system set up by the dark forces to open up a dark portal system, a vortex, where these beings can come in. And the light beings, we can also see down the timelines, just like how the Illuminati would do with Looking Glass and their time travel machines. So we foresaw that they were going to open up a portal system using a vortex, which was in the form of a hurricane. And a lot of beings started coming in over my childhood home. So I was tasked, since I grew up there, to watch over that area. I have seen like bat-like creatures. You would call them like vampires, like pure blood vampires. They look like bats. And I will go into many of my angelic forms, and one of those angelic forms were the dragon. And I made a video talking about this, where this bat creature was just as big as my dragon form. And I wasn't a big dragon, not in that form. I was maybe like 7 foot, 8 foot tall. Well, this bat was about the same, and I came there to guard my childhood home, and I had to eliminate that bat creature. But this time, I was tasked to hunt down this demonic being in the astral realm. So I located this demonic being, and it looked like one of the. It took a form of one of the Mr. Olympia bodybuilders. What it wanted to do is wanted to provoke fear. That's what they do. they shapeshift into something that may intimidate you to try to get you to back off of it. And we all know how demons work. They have that they use like dark magic, and they try to project something into your consciousness that you may uh, go into fear. Well, this particular bodybuilder, he was an 8-time Mr. Olympia bodybuilder, and he is a legend. His name is Ronnie Coleman. So, and that's what he wanted me to see. He wanted to provoke fear, to get me to back off of him. Now, he was in the astral realm in my old apartment I grew up. And so I went upstairs. I opened the door, went upstairs, and he was like up, floating up against the wall. And he looked just like Ronnie Coleman, except for his eyes, they were all white. Now, you know, if you've seen most movies, how demons, when they possess someone, their eyes are like their eyes are like rolled back into their heads. Well, that's what it was. You can only see the whites. There was no pupils, and that's what I was looking at. So I saw this person that projected itself to look like Ronnie Coleman, and he was like in his prime here in the astral realm. And I had a weapon with me. This was a ancient Chinese weapon where it was a long staff, and on the end of that staff it was a flat blade. Well, I used that blade to stab this demon in his face, and this demon was now I will say the demon was extremely powerful. It was powerful, and that blade, that ancient Chinese blade, it had no uh, harmful effects on it. So it let me know the level of this demonic being. So I had to switch this consciousness off and go into like a an angelic form. So this human form had to leave, almost like an altar, and I had to go into like a higher angelic form to deal with that demonic being. Normally, when that happens, I don't remember anything past that point. I don't remember anything past that point, but I get like downloads and indication that once that switch happens, we capture a lot of these demonic beings, and then we take them where they need to go to heal. And that has to do everything with specific places in higher realms that source has, that we put these beings to heal, and they end up losing that demonic form. So all of that form is shedded from them, is healed, and then they go through that process of remembering who they were. And this is a natural process. Most angels do this. They capture demonic beings, uh, pretty much round them up, take them into higher planes, so that they can be healed, and all of that darkness that is surrounding them, it gets shattered away. And then they remember that light that they have, it begins to vibrate, and then they remember who they are. It's only the darkness around these beings that keep them in a low conscience, because they forget who they are. They hold light. So, and another way to nurture your soul so that you stay in high vibration is to be in service to others. So we have to love each other. Okay. So the elites, they use a frequency net around the planet, and this is 5G. They've been talking about 5G for the longest time. They're using a higher frequency than 5G. Okay. They talk about this with the phones, the cell phones. Your phones also carry a frequency that keeps you in a low vibrational state. And you can feel these harmful frequencies. You can feel it around you, and you can feel it from your phone as well. So sometimes we have to get out into nature. Get out into nature. Walk around on the ground barefoot, and connect with Mother Earth to pull up and out all of these frequencies, because we pull in a lot of this stuff. We absorb stuff. We absorb harmful things, um, and we don't give ourselves time enough to consciously remove a lot of the negativity frequencies or negativity that comes from other people. We absorb because, as being a Christ conscious being, we want to help. We want to help. So, but we must remember too that we are like antennas, both giving both positivity and negativity. And we take in both light and dark. Okay. So give yourself time to remove a lot of the dark influences that we get on a day-to-day basis, whether it be with coworkers, whether it be with a manager, whether it be at home or friends or family. Okay, because we pull in a lot of things. We have to give ourselves time to go into meditation and remove a lot of the darkness. Okay, now I do want to speak on James Rink. Um, I recently spoke to a James Rink, and let's continue to send him healing vibrations, healing love. Um, Also, James, I want to talk to you as well briefly. The dark ones will try to get into your head as well and keep us in a mentality of not stepping into our power. And I've been there before. I've been there before where I felt like I was dying, and they kept me in this mental state of hopelessness. Okay, you're gonna have to pull yourself out of that, because we manifest our fears, our deep emotions. We manifest that. You can heal yourself, and with the help that you get from others, you can heal yourself, but it has to come here first. Have faith in yourself, because I've been where you're at, and it's going to take time to put yourself in that faithful state of who you are. So stand up, my brother. Stand up. Get on your feet and say, I am. And don't give up. Go into that I am consciousness of who you are, because you're a lot more powerful than they are trying to make you feel. I have been there, and I was in and out of hospitals, uh, and it was my own fear from this viper in my ear, making me feel like I was dying. And in a sense, I was, because I was manifesting my own reality. I was manifesting that. I had to pull myself out of that. And it's gonna make you feel like you truly are. But remember the illusion that is over this world. Remember, James, this is an illusion. It is not your time. It is not your time. stand on your feet, and take your position as who you are. And we got work to do. We have a lot of work to do. It is not your time. Break the illusion. Break the illusion. So these beings, these attachments, you can call them entity attachments. Once they attach to you, they cause inflammation within the body. They have like specific jobs, but that's all they are. You could think of them as mosquitoes that have infiltrated your field, okay? But that's all they are. Look at them as mosquitoes and flock them away, okay? Stand on your feet. Stand on your feet. Take in the nutrition that you need so that you vibrate at a higher frequency. Clear the mind first, because you're going to bring in and manifest those fears of dying. Let that shit go. Let it go. It's not your time. I can look at you and clearly see that it is not your time. And that's one of the things that I've been able to do since a child is look at energy. Okay? You're going to have to get those agents out of your ear. The ones that you can see and the ones that you can't see. Get them out of your ear and step into who you want. And say to yourself, are you ready? If you are ready to go, that will be on you. But if you want to stay and continue the work, then stand up, get on your feet, and be the soldier that you are. Because I can see that it is not your time. It is not your time. We got much work to do. I want to leave you guys with I love you, I honor you, and I respect you. Have a good day.